All right, we're going here, fellas.
All right.
Dudes with the big intro. Congratulations on the first one.
Thank you, man. Pop the cherry.
Matthew Highmore, welcome to the High Button Podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, fellas. It's it's been kind of a couple weeks in the works here, and looking forward to it.
It happened on the nicest day of the year. I didn't think you'd show, but I'd be at the beach if I were you. I wouldn't have showed up. But thanks, I appreciate it.
I was already at the lake, fellas.
Were you?
Yeah. No, it was good.
Dude, the off season's not that long, man. You got to take advantage of it while you can, right?
Absolutely. You know, the season's such a grind, and especially when you get home and you get to hang out with your friends and whatnot. It's a lot of fun. So, for example, today worked out in the morning, then headed over to one of my buddy's lake houses, and we were just kind of hanging out, and it's just nice to relax. You know what I mean?
And just get away from it, right?
Absolutely, getting away from the rink and whatever. It's it's just like people going to work. It's the exact same thing, and people like vacation. So
absolutely, yeah.
So do you have a place here, or like there's no point because you're not here that much during the year?
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I don't own anything. I'm renting out at King's Wharf, and
nice.
Me and my buddy Andrew Schufelt.
Yeah.
You're roommates with him?
Yeah.
You ever see Mitch? Does Mitch ever come by?
I haven't seen him since I've been home. Yeah. Don't know what he's up to these
Nobody
days.
Ever does.
But no, they're a really good family, and nice to have some company, and just hang out and do our thing.
Really nice.
All right, so I'm going to get it going unless you want to...
Go right at her, buddy.
All right, so essentially how it works for guys that don't play or have never played in the NHL or don't play professional hockey, usually how it works, they sit around almost like what we're doing right now, except with a couple beers, and then they watch on the television right there to your right, and then the question always comes up. The question is, if you could play in the NHL, which team would you play for? And I would say 8 times out of 10... someone is going to say the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, you have gotten the opportunity to play for that team this past year. So I was wondering if you could give the listeners something about why, the Chicago Blackhawks, are one of the best organizations to play for.
Yeah, it's funny. There's actually a lot of Maritimers that are Blackhawk fans. I didn't realize it till, I kind of got there, signed a contract and whatnot, but there's lots of fans, and I think everybody knows it's a great organization, but it really is treated like a family. The culture there is winning, and you walk into the room, even to the United Center there, the building, and you just kind of get a sense of everybody likes to win, everybody likes being together, and to mention, or not to leave out, but the fans are incredible.
They for sure.
Yeah, I mean they fill the building every night.
They call it the Madhouse, do they not?
The Madhouse on Madison. Yeah,
and that is pretty accurate, is it?
It's insane. Yeah, there's some, I think 7 or 8 home games there I played, and we were in some tight games, and coming down the stretch in the third period, the place is just going bonkers, especially in, I know Patrick Kane scored one in overtime while I was there too.
Wow.
That place went nuts. Yeah,
that's like something you see on TV and you just wish you could be a part of, and you got to live it. Like even just Patrick Kane being in front of you, you know what I mean? Obviously that's, you watch him play growing up, that's very obvious, and then you're there for him to score the OT winner, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't want to make it sound like it's not cool anymore, but I was there for a little while, so it's kind of normal now. But watching these guys do what they do is incredible, and it was so much fun. It's a great place to play. Can't say enough about it.
Do you ever have to like pinch yourself when you're on the bench and like Taves is like, hey, pass the Gatorade or something? Do you ever just like, do you ever have any moments like that where you just got to be like, holy shit, I'm here?
Well, it's funny, the first kind of game that I was there, nervous like anybody else would be, but sitting on the bench, the boys are like, Heisey, like don't worry about it, like keep playing, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things, so it's kind of cool, and they were nothing but good guys about it.
That was one of the things I was wondering, what like the culture, you touched on it for a second there, and just like coming in as a new guy, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, you're undrafted. So, like, obviously, as far as that goes, drafted guys are obviously, like, super highly considered and stuff like that, and you kind of know who they are. But coming out of the AHL, coming up to the team, obviously you have nothing but good things to say about them. They just made you feel welcome because the first thing you said was family.
Yeah,
So-
and that's the truth. And I think that's how you win this in this day and age. You can't win with a bunch of individuals, and people know that, but it's harder to to kind of put into action.
For sure.
They've done a great job of it, and there's a reason that they've won 2 cups in the last 6 or 7 years, kind of thing. So like I said, a bunch of great guys that want to treat everybody like family. Doesn't matter how many games you played in the NHL.
That's incredible. I just picture walking into the dressing room for the first time and just like seeing all those guys. Who'd you sit next to in the room when you were there?
Well, actually, here's a funny story. So I walk into training camp in September, and I'm looking for my stall, kind of looking around, and I'm beside Kane, and I'm like, oh boy, okay, all right. Like, how do you react?
Yeah.
I mean, I had never been, around a whole lot of, NHL superstars at this point, and but like I said, they're welcoming, and he's a real nice guy, and on the road you sit beside different guys, but it's kind of fun to bounce things off them too, and see how they react to different things and
get to know them as people more or less, right?
Yeah,
because everyone on the outside just kind of sees them as like these stars, like all they do is play hockey and really good, where in reality it's they're just regular guys like you played with your whole entire career. We play with our entire career. They just happen to be masterful at their trade, you know what I mean? So that's what people forget, I think, and that's why I like this too, is because you get a sense of what guys are like, and it's pretty much the same all the way through.
Absolutely. I mean, those guys like to go fishing, they like to play golf. You go out and have dinner with a couple of them, and you learn so much. And like you said, they're just regular guys that happen to be pretty good at hockey.
Yeah, happen
a little
to be
bit.
pretty good.
They're okay.
When you're going out for dinner and things like that with the boys in Chicago, is there any like restaurants in particularly that are like the go-to, I guess, in Chicago? I've never been, always wanted to go. Is there any like in particular place like where everyone goes, I guess?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good question. A lot of the guys, they actually get their meals catered. I don't know if that's a normal thing in the
like brought to the rink.
Well, they get it taken like right to their door. So
okay, I see what you're saying.
4 or 5 times a week, they'll get couple meals dropped off,
so they don't have to go out and get swarmed, eh?
Exactly. So a lot of those guys do that because it is downtown. I don't know how many teams and how many guys would do that around the league, but I think it's because we do live downtown when we're there, so it's crazy.
Does
you
everybody?
You go.
No, go ahead.
Do you guys have a practice facility downtown, or do you play out of the? You do have one?
Yeah, so we have a practice facility. It's, I'm going to say, a 2-minute walk from the United Center, from the big rink. And it's brand new, state of the art. It's, I think, 7 months old now.
It's that fresh.
Unbelievable.
Brand spanking new.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because the United Center, that must have tons of turnover with the Bulls, concerts, just tons of stuff going on with that.
Such a big city, right?
It's crazy busy there, but I'll tell you what, this practice facility, you don't practice there a whole lot because they try to accommodate you as much as they can at the big rink, but this place is unreal. Like the gym is, I'm going to say you walk into a normal Good Life, it's probably the size of a Good Life. Like
and it's just for you guys.
Right.
Just Chicago Blackhawks.
Huge. Yeah.
So training camp and stuff, do you go out of that place or do you go to United Center?
Always go to United Center.
Really? Interesting.
They have a full gym in the United Center too.
That makes sense.
Whether or not that changes this year, because they do have the practice facility done now, I'm not sure. But fans come and watch practice, and
that was my question too. Yeah,
like it's like lower bowl would be half full. Like what
for a practice?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I would definitely. I mean, I wouldn't go every day, but if I was in Chicago, for example, I'd be going to a practice, man, because you see the game stuff, but I like seeing the practice stuff as a hockey player myself. You like to see what guys work on, what separates them. Like you watch Sid, for example. Obviously, this is an easy example, and he's working on just like coming from the back of the net, or like just like weird angle stuff that you wouldn't really think of just as someone who. For me personally, I put a little bit of effort in, right? But I was never like the guy at practice that was trying out different shit and working on different stuff just to up my game, right? So I would be super interested in doing that.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, half the lower bowl.
So there's a lower bowl for the practice facility.
No, this is in the big rink. So
the United.
Yeah. So like sometimes like they open it up, like let people in and whatnot, and it becomes, you know, whatever. And in training camp, there's a inter squad game. Sold out every time.
No doubt. We said sell out for inter squad games around here, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's just like a real game. It's nuts, but the fans are unreal.
So are you a Vince Vaughn fan?
What's that, sorry?
You a Vince Vaughn fan?
Vince Vaughn? Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I can't remember what movie he was in there where they actually did it at United Center and whatnot, but I'm trying to think.
Couples Retreat? No, they went away.
Someone's going to be able to answer this for us, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Swingers. No, that wasn't. No, he wasn't that big. That was based out of L.A.
We can't just name every movie.
Just start naming a bunch of movies.
But I do remember the scene.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, but you know, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I walked in that place. I was like, okay, like this is where this movie was, you know, shot. So it was kind of cool.
That's sweet. Did you get to see him live while you were playing? I suppose you probably don't spend too much time browsing the crowd at that speed and stuff like that. But did you ever actually see him in the rink?
Yeah, you know, I didn't see him. The only people that I look for in the crowd are like my family.
True.
And I always find them in warm up. So I know exactly where everybody's sitting. It's kind of one of those things that I do, but
it's weird how you can pick the faces that you know out of a huge crowd, eh?
Yeah,
it's insane.
And everybody's wearing the same thing, but you can pick those faces out,
or probably hear their voice specifically through the, you know what I mean, like your mom's voice or something.
Yeah, hopefully mom's not screaming, but you never know. Right?
That's exactly right. Depends what you're up to out there.
Exactly.
Really quickly, those kids are going to come down. Do you mind if you sign a couple things really quick? We can just pause the podcast.
Sounds great.
You're sure that's cool?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. And all right, we're back after the little autograph signing there. All right, so let's I've always wanted to talk, not always, I just do want to talk about, you know, there's guys that play in the A and then they make the jump to the NHL, and I want to know what you think the difference is between, you know, a guy that's in the AHL on the first line compared to a guy that's in the NHL on the fourth line. You know, I'm sure the skill set is a lot different, but what do you think is the difference from a guy that can make that jump to the NHL from the A?
Yeah, you know, it's an interesting question because in this day and age, the margins are so close.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I think some guys will say there's a big difference. You know, I don't see a whole lot of a difference from a first liner in the A to, you know, a third, fourth liner in the show. Mm-hmm. I think it's just the biggest thing is consistency. You know, in the business that we're in, consistency, you know, night in, night out is the difference between the really good players and, you know, the players that don't really make it. So for me, you know, I think the skill level is there. It's commitment, it's consistency to doing what you have to do every day to be prepared, because the guys in the NHL, you know, they don't take a night off or even a practice off,
which is unbelievable.
You know, no workouts off. It's really their job, and that's how they treat it.
That's a tough thing to do, man. Like I said, I go by myself personally because that's what I've experienced. But I mean, there's some days you want to work out and there's some days you don't. And the fact that these guys can do that day in and day out, literally for hours and hours on end. I know it's your job, but even people that work full-time jobs don't put that much effort into what they're doing. That being said, you know, professional sports is obviously a little bit different of a ball game and it's hard to compare, but the fact that you can do that is what makes them such great athletes. And like even in the playoffs, there's a new level of play all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like how everyone's battered and bruised from the long season, and
50%.
It's just like it's a mindset, man. And like no one could ever pinpoint how it works. It's just there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. I think, you know, I kind of left this one out, but I think it's more important is the mental side of the game. Mm-hmm. People don't realize, you know, the day in, day out grind, and then you morning skate, and then you got to get ready for the night, for the game, and it's a grind. And you know, guys that lose confidence easily, it's tough, because if you don't have a certain amount of swagger, you know, you get run over.
And that's what it is, I think, too. It is swagger in the NHL. You got to carry yourself with confidence, even off the ice. Like when you're going to the hotel, when you're around fans, being a professional, you have to be able to conduct yourself in a way. At least what I think, looking in from the outside, to be an NHL guy, you have to be a superhuman. In a sense, especially in a situation like yours, where you're still trying to become a full-time NHL guy, the mindset of being, you know, you might have to go back down and then you might have to go back up. Like you have to stay level-headed. It's a lot easier said than done, I think, and a lot of guys I don't think are able to handle that.
Absolutely, it's tough, and there's a fine line between cocky and confident.
Absolutely,
and, everybody knows that, but it's hard to walk it for certain guys, and that's where people get in trouble. And, but you have to be confident, because if you're not confident in yourself, then nobody will be. So it's tough, but that's why it's one of the best jobs I personally think in the world. Of course. You know what I mean? So I'm very very privileged for it.
Absolutely. It's good that you know that too. It's good that the position you're in doesn't come easy, and you deserve everything you have being there. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I would never take it for granted. It's it's going to the rink every day, just like everybody dreamt of when they were younger. So it's
like a 9-to-5 job if you think about it, because like when you're practicing, I'm sure after practice you got to do a workout. I'm sure after you got to do like a cold tub. You got to get, even though it's
stuff,
like you got to do stuff. Even though you're not just going to the rink practicing then going home and playing a game. It's like a 9-to-5 job. Mm-hmm. Plus all the community stuff I'm sure you guys have to do. Yeah. I'm sure you guys are in a hospital every week. I'm sure you guys have to be everywhere all over Chicago.
Tons of stuff to do, keeps us busy, but it's it's fun. It's just all part of it. And
at the end of the day, you're doing what you love to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then everything involved with that is just, like you said, paving the road to what's going to happen in a little bit, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, doesn't matter if it's sports, whatever it is, guys have to, or people in general, you have to enjoy what you're doing, and if you don't, then of course find what you do, because it's not worth living your life.
That's why I've had 5 million jobs. Nothing I've done.
I think you found the one now. I think you're happy now.
Oh, happy. Understatement, man.
Do you have any questions? I'll go to mine if you have.
Cheers, I'm on the fly guy, baby. I'm a change on the fly.
I want to talk about deep dish pizza, but I don't know if I want to jump into that yet, because if you've ever had it. I also want to talk about if you practice with Sid. So what should we wear? I'll ask the deep dish pizza. Have you had deep dish pizza yet? And if you have,
like official deep dish pizza.
Well, I've heard mixed reviews from it. I heard it's awesome. Then I heard some people say it's not pizza, it's a pie. Yeah. I don't know. You've been to Chicago. Have you had deep dish pizza?
I've had deep dish pizza, and I'll tell you, it threw me for a loop. I tried to order it one day, and I was like, okay, I have no idea what's coming to my door. Like I don't know what's going on. So anyways, I'm not a huge fan. And okay. I've heard that you have to get it from the right spots. So apparently I haven't gone to the right spots. I'm a rookie, so somebody help me out, please. But
someone will listen to this and tweet at you about a good place to go.
I would love nothing more, because I heard it's good. Like when you get a good one, it's really good. But unfortunately, I didn't quite have the best first try with it. But it's definitely referred to as a pie.
Pie? Really?
Yeah, it's definitely a pie.
It's like a meat pie. It's a greasy meat pie.
It's got a top to it, a roof.
Yeah, it's got a roof to it. It's got a base and it's got its roof. But
what? The roof apparently is the sauce. They don't put the cheese on the top. No. They put the cheese in the middle with the beef and stuff.
Well, threw me for a loop. Yeah, didn't like it.
So it'd be like it wasn't the greatest one. It'd be like someone coming here for the first time. They're like, oh, I want a Donaire, and they just don't get the greatest Donaire. It's crazy how towns, cities, and places like that have like their specific food. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but I know for here on the East Coast it's Donaires, right? And some people are like, well, I had a Donaire and it wasn't the greatest, and they come back like, man, I had a Donaire and it was unbelievable. You know what I mean? So it's hit or miss probably everywhere as you go.
Got to do the king of Donaire. Can't go wrong. In my opinion, anyways.
I was there 2 days ago. Almost Canada Day. Yeah, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's normal.
Do you ever get on the ice with Sid?
You know what? I have skated with Sid. I'm gonna say once.
How was
that? Like 5 years ago.
Oh
wow!
Yeah.
You were probably a little starstruck yourself then.
I was. Yeah, absolutely. And, Sid's there. Cracking jokes, and I'm like, okay.
Sid cracks jokes.
I'm laughing.
Even if it's not funny, I'm laughing.
I'm still laughing. Doesn't matter what he said. I'm still laughing.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I've met him a couple times. Really nice guy.
Nice.
He just seems very down to earth and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, when Sid cracks a joke, you laugh.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. I don't care what he says. If he told me to come wipe his arse, I would. That's just the way it is, right? Like,
I want to talk about leadership role. Actually, that's a good segue. Talking about Sid, a leader in probably all of Canada. I guess not even in particularly Chicago, just in your hockey career. Would you say there's anyone that's really helped you along the way develop into a pro hockey player? And it can be someone from Chicago. There could be anyone.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think there's been so many people along the way that have helped me. Just to list a few, Brad Crosley, my midget coach for a year. Tony Bro, a Bantam coach. I don't know if you guys know him actually a little bit.
Bro, the name, as soon as you said it, it rang a bell, but I can't put a face to it or anything.
Yeah, really, really nice guy. He's my Pee Wee and Bantam coach.
Nice.
And a little bit of midget too, actually. So he's he's a big role model for me, actually. But the biggest one I think would be Danny Flynn, my coach for 2 years there in St. John, and he really taught me how to be consistent, how to be a consistent leader, do the right things day in and day out, habits, just like everything that you need to know to be a pro hockey player. And he's the biggest influence in the last at least 5 to 8 years in my career.
You still talk to him?
We stay in touch a little bit.
It's tough. You guys both have your busy schedules and whatnot, right?
Yeah, and he's out coaching in the WHL now in Portland.
Okay.
He's out there as I think the D coach, and he's bounced around a lot, but I thought that he did a really good job with us in St. John too, and couldn't say enough about how much he taught me and gave me a lot of responsibility on the team, which was huge.
Sick. I want to talk about his first NHL goal, unless you got a question.
The only thing I was going to touch on was it just made me think of it when you said St. John, and I know we had a couple buddies, like Macaulay, Steve Anthony, those guys that played there, Devo, and you're going from one winning organization literally to the next. And my point being is teams want guys that know how to win. When you know what I mean? Like whether you're the guy that scores, leading scorer in the playoffs, or you're the role guy that's blocking the shots, killing penalties, you know how to win. And that's why you see it at the deadline, teams like Toronto, for example, they picked up Lekanek, and that's going to sound ridiculous, but he had experience in the playoffs. He knew his role. He knew what he had to do to get it done. And that's, I think, they say everything isn't about winning, but at the end of the day, when you're a winner, you know what it takes.
Great example, Chris Kunitz going to Chicago.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a great
absolutely.
example.
He just goes to all the winning teams.
It's it's crazy. The guy has 4 or 5 cups.
Yeah,
4.
Share some, would you?
Could have had 5 if
he's running out of fingers.
Rick Nash would love a cup. Somebody get him one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, so, but no, absolutely. Teams want winners, and it takes a lot of different things to win. You can't even list them in 10 minutes. There's so many different things, and to find a combination of people and a group that can do it, it's tough. So people want experience, and if you haven't won, you don't know how to do it. So
it's plain and simple.
Yeah, it's just a different animal, especially the playoffs. It's just completely different, and it's not something I can describe or you guys can describe. It's tough.
Well, some people can't handle it and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, the fact that you can, I know it would be tough to describe what it takes to build a championship team, but let's talk about one person that knows how to manage a championship team, and that's Quenneville. Yeah. What did you notice maybe in his characteristics with your time there, and how he's able to lead such a talented group? Because I think of when the Mooseheads won the Mem Cup and they had all that talent in the room, and they talk about what was his name again? Sorry. Ducharme, and how he was able to manage all that talent at once. But Quenneville's been doing it for years, so maybe like a pregame speech, what's his
is he super serious? Mentality? Is he kind of light? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, every coach is different, like you guys know, but Quenneville, he's very even keel. Obviously, he gets upset and whatnot, but you can't get too high, can't get too low, and I think that's one of the things that certainly I noticed in my 13-14 games up there. It was very even keeled. He knows how to run the room. Very hockey smart, and he shows it. So guys believe in it, and I think that's a major thing. If you can't get your team to believe in it, in what you're selling, then you're in trouble. But he does a great job of doing that for sure.
It's got to be almost calming to be in a tough spot in the game, or you guys just aren't playing the greatest or something like that, and you look up and head coach is just he's not reaming anybody out, he's not freaking out, he's not throwing shit on the ice, he's super calm. He's like, all right boys, we know what we need to do here. That's it, whether you realize it or not, that reflects into the players.
That's what a lot of people said about Gallant this year in Vegas. He didn't police the room, he didn't police the players, he just let the players play because he knew they're professionals. He knows when they make a mistake, and
they know before he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, you have, it takes a lot of leadership to be able to coach like that. You know what I mean? A lot of self self-talks. It's just, great leadership to do it. And, when a coach picks his leaders, it's huge. It really is. Some people don't really realize it, but it is.
Talk about the confidence of having Jonathan Kane.
Jonathan Kane.
I mean, Jonathan and Kane.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah, best. Let's put them both on a jersey. Two of the highest paid players in the NHL. What was I going to say? Yeah, from your perspective, if I were in your shoes and I was down in a game, I would be thinking like a fan. Be like, okay, remember that game I watched 4 years ago when they won the cup? They'll just do that again. That's my mentality, but maybe that's why I'm not in the NHL. But that's...
I would say that's probably not why.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure why. But I don't know. That's what I'd just be thinking, because like those guys, man. Just incredible talent. Is there anything like Kane, especially in practice, that you've seen him do that's just like that blew your mind?
Well, I mean... First of all, when you get in a tough position in a game, those two guys you want on the ice.
Absolutely.
And everybody knows that.
So you are okay.
Yeah,
good.
But I mean, I'm as much of a fan as the next guy. So I know exactly. Like, no, hey, I'll sit on the bench. You guys go. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, no, they're great. They're great hockey players. And the second part to that question, I guess, is some of the ridiculous stick handling that Kane can do. It's just outrageous,
like Datsuk level.
Oh my! It's like, yeah. And every morning skate, there's always we always do a little shootout.
Yeah.
So there's Schmaltz, there's Patrick Sharp, Kane. Some of the young guys like to hop in, and I hopped in one day and I was like, okay, I got to do something. Like, I got to put this puck in the net. And anyways, didn't put it in, but just to sit there and watch Kane do his thing and just stick handle around goaltenders, like it's ridiculous.
Like, it's nothing.
No, yeah, exactly.
See, when you said, did you see him do anything in practice, or do you see him do anything in practice specifically? Jesus, I was gonna say, is there anything that you can actually see him do, because he does everything so damn quick, man? It's like he's stick handling, the puck's not even going. He's just over it. You just don't know what he's
fast.
Yeah, like
unreal. Yeah. You don't know what's going on. And as the defenseman, like I'm not sure how you defend it, to be honest.
Has he ever made you look stupid in practice?
Oh, what? Good question. I don't think.
There you go.
We probably haven't gone against each other.
Yeah. You go to the back.
Safe way out.
I'll just, I'll take the next guy.
You see him go up, you're up with him. You just kind of.
Yeah. Sorry, boys. Don't know the drill.
Yeah,
I'll next time. Yeah.
That's a fear, man. Being a drill buster is a legitimate fear on the ice,
especially in training camp.
No
During the
doubt.
year, not as big of a deal. But training camp, you walk in the first day, and coaches are yelling. They they expect you to kind of know the drills, and you're
you're just trying to take it all in, man. Like,
boys, somebody go next. And then sometimes you get in a corner with a bunch of rookies, and they're like, no, like, I don't know what's going on.
No one wants to go,
and then you're really screwed.
So do you think that, on that note, things keep hitting me, like, would you rather be the guy that doesn't know the drill and goes to the back of the line, or who goes to the front and just fucks it up and the coach does the example with?
You definitely don't want to mess it up.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Whatever you do not mess it up.
Especially a simple drill.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a horseshoe with like a little extra something on the end of it and you mess it up, you look like an idiot. So, I mean, you want to be confident and go first,
right.
But
at the same time,
do
you
not mess up.
For you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to look out for yourself and don't mess up.
That's true. That's a big thing that people forget to realize too. At the end of the day, you do have to look out for yourself in that business, because it is a business. At the end of the day, it's your job, it's your life,
Yeah.
Bottom line business.
Yep.
And once you get to, once you make a team, once you're set, that's when things become a team and whatnot. But, training camp's one of those things that obviously everybody wants to be at the top, so you've got to do everything you can. Doesn't mean throw guys under the bus, doesn't mean play dirty, whatever, but
play your game.
Play your game.
Compete.
Yeah.
I bet it's such a different mindset from guys that are just like already there, signed one-way contract, to guys that are trying to make the team. Like, when think about it, I bet when Kane and Taves and all these boys roll into camp, they're just like, another day at the office. And then you got guys that are trying to make the team that are just like shaking in their boots, just... I bet it's up to those guys, Kane and Taves, to be like, relax, boys, it's just hockey. Absolutely. And that's where it comes into being a leader.
I think you can even just see it, like in a guy like Taves. Like, I watch him in a game, and he calms me down. Just the way he goes about everything, even his off-ice interviews, his warm-up interviews.
Yeah.
The game's super tight, it's overtime. He's just still super calm. And, like, if you're sitting there, I can imagine you sitting there going, okay, this is how it's done, we're good.
Brings you along.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially in training camp, like, that's one of those things where, there's 40 guys living in a hotel. And then, you know, you got Taze, Kane, you know, all the guys that have been around.
Yeah.
They're just going home, sitting by the pool, hanging out.
Yeah, they got houses there.
Seeing their kids, stuff like that.
Yeah, doing normal things. All they're stressing in the hotel. What's tomorrow going to bring, kind of thing. But it's, you know, it's all part of it. But it's kind of funny.
So all the boys live downtown?
For the most part, I mean, a lot of the young guys live downtown.
Yeah.
You know, some of the older guys, they have their own houses, but you know, it's all relatively pretty close because you got to get downtown every day by 8:45.
Was that what time morning practice is?
Well, practice, you know, 10:30, 11, but you got to get in there, have some food.
Oh, you guys got a chef in there?
Absolutely, every day, 2 meals a day. Yeah.
So before and after practice type deal?
Before or after, yeah.
Do you get a choice of what you get, or is
like
it
an
just
omelet bar?
So yeah, we got our omelet bar there in the morning. You know, then you've got sweet potatoes, normal potatoes, whatever. You know, literally anything you can think of for breakfast. Oh yeah, you can make smoothies. Yeah. Now you'd have to make your own.
So what?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing, but yeah, no, it's good. It's you know, anything you want.
Yeah,
and,
that's awesome.
The meals are always good and top notch.
So then after practice, what's on the menu?
bologna sandwiches?
Mustard if you're lucky.
Yeah, with a little bit of light mayo. Yeah, no, it's you know, it's crazy. It's full meals. It's, you know,
like rice, chicken, the whole
chicken.
works.
There'll normally be chicken, steak, and salmon, and it's all like different flavors every day. So you could technically have chicken every day and not know it.
Well, like we touched on before too, like their job is to make the players feel as comfortable and at home and stress free as they possibly can, right? So like, I know it sounds like, you know, super glamorous and everybody wishes they could have that, but at the end of the day, like, you guys need something like that. You can't be running over to Subway or trying to get home in traffic to make meals and stuff. Like, it just has to happen. Especially in my mind.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Place where it's tough to get around, I bet.
Absolutely. And I mean, it kind of sounds like when we talk about that stuff, like, it kind of sounds like we're all spoiled, but it is, you know, from the team to make sure that we are ready to go. You know what I mean? It's not for any other reason than they want to know what's going in our bodies. You know, it's very regimented and whatnot. So it's, you know,
it's a team bonding thing too, when you're all eating together. I know, like, you go on hotel, you're on road trips and you're growing up. Like, that's the things that bring your team closer together, is things like that, being around each other all the time, knowing what guys are like, how they react to certain circumstances, how they react to scenarios. Then you kind of know, you know, and it's, you need to do it.
Even who watches Sports Center, who doesn't, you know, it's just little things. Like, there'll be a group of guys watching Sports Center, there'll be a group of guys watching the news. It's just kind of different stuff. You know what I mean? I
never thought of that. You're together all the time.
I love it.
All the time.
Yeah. You don't remember the thing? This just hit me now. I'm gonna shoot it out right quick. Kirk Tomlinson and Midget, we were on a little bit of a skid, and he was pissed off because we were a bunch of individuals. He gave everybody a pencil, asked them to break it. We were all like, what the fuck are you talking about? Snap the pencil. Then he gives everybody a pack. First he said, that's what you guys are right now, individuals. He gives everybody a pack of pencils. He's like, try and break that. And everyone tried to break it. No one could. And he's like, that's how you guys have to be. There's 20 pencils. You know what I mean? Together like that, unbreakable. Yeah. And literally, since that day, I've never forgot it. I tell it to everybody I possibly can. It's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
You're just like, wow.
I've never come up with that.
Yeah, like that was
guy. Yeah.
Holy shit. Blew my mind. For the first time in my life, probably I had something triggered in the brain.
And I wonder if that's tougher for like bigger city teams. Like, think about the Rangers playing in New York City, and think of all like the outside distractions they would have. Even Chicago, that's another massive city. Like, I bet so many other guys have hobbies that they want to do outside of the rink, and maybe like they're not, you know, that might be tough to bond. I don't know. That's just the first thought I would have.
Well, no, for sure. I mean, some guy, you know, for guys in New York, like they gotta take the darn subway to the game.
How do you get to the game?
I mean, I would drive. It's, you know, I'm gonna say maybe 2 miles there, but it takes 20 minutes.
Okay.
Normally 2 miles will take you 5.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, but
going to the rink, man.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah. No, you know, teams like that and cities that you can't even get to the rink. Like, I'm sure Toronto's crazy too, but a lot of them live there, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things.
So let's talk about favorite NHL rink that you played in other than
the Madhouse.
The Madhouse. That's what Liam said his favorite place was the Madhouse. O'Brien.
Yeah, we had that conversation I think last summer, Liam and I, and Liam's like, have you ever been there? No, you know. Yeah. He goes, yeah, sick place. I said, okay. You know, I'll see it, wait to see it to believe it, and turned out to be. But good question. Trying to think. You know, LA was nice.
Yeah,
I really liked LA.
I've been there.
Not too hot in the rink.
No, it was okay.
Technology's probably
It's
good enough.
freezing in the rink. I wore
Yeah.
a t-shirt and shorts. I was freezing with different playing, but
Yeah, but it's on
100.
purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't really have a choice. Another place that I guess comes to mind is I played Columbus in the preseason.
Interesting. Columbus.
Yeah, I liked Columbus. Every time that darn cannon goes off,
Oh,
I absolutely shit my pants.
You don't like
No
that.
doubt.
It's loud.
Scares me.
even if you know it's coming,
Yeah,
you're
you know-
still focusing on what you're doing, and then bang.
Well, and I'm telling you, it's loud on TV. In person, it's 25 times louder. And apparently, 2 years ago, they had to turn it down because teams were complaining.
Oh my god,
It's that.
Yeah.
That sounds illegal. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's
sounds illegal.
well,
Can't be that
it should
loud.
be.
Blow an eardrum.
It's unbelievable, and think they scored 3 goals on us, and I jumped about 6 feet each time.
Real life
Unbelievable.
smelling salts.
You know what I hate about like junior hockey is that whenever some other teams score, they turn the lights out in the rink. I hate that. Keep the lights on. I don't mind if there's a bang, sure, but the lights out, I don't know. It's not for me.
Well,
It
that's
ruins the mood of the game.
That's
I
why
find.
you're the away team.
You don't get to see the good celebrations.
Even if I
Dude.
scored, I wouldn't want the lights to go out. I want you to see my face. I want you to see me happy.
Fuck that. Turn the lights off. Bring the spotlight down on
No.
me, baby. Let's do the glory for a
go.
minute.
Keep the lights on. See, in the NHL, they don't turn the lights out. They keep the lights on in the NHL because they're pros. They need to keep the lights on.
There's also 15 million more people at the rink.
Yeah, whatever. You got to keep the lights on.
I'd keep the lights on for whatever it's worth.
Yeah, I
I'm in
hate that.
dream
I hate
world
the
though.
thing. Oh yeah, so Columbus and LA. Okay, so let's talk about your first NHL goal here. I'm gonna bring it up on the big screen. Maybe you can walk us through what was going through your mind.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So how should we do this? Should I just
Bring
let
it
it
up
play?
bigger.
Should I let it play
Let
and
it
talk
play
over
first,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, blocker side. Love it.
First of all, what a celebration! The one knee up to the sky. Let's play that again.
Those are things you can't plan, man.
It was a heck of a play from Eric Gustafsson.
Woo! Where'd you put that? Top left?
Low
Left
block.
side?
Yeah, like middle of the net on the blocker side, left side.
Got him sliding across.
Yeah.
Boston. Yes.
It was
what
pretty
a
sweet.
feeling.
First career NHL. It gives me chills just watching it. I wasn't there. It's not me. It's just awesome.
the
It's
garden,
like all
too.
that work.
Was this an afternoon game?
Yeah, it was afternoon.
I knew it
game.
was. They
Yeah.
always do these afternoon games, big market teams.
Against Boston too, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, we're talking.
Oh,
over
wow.
You. You tell us.
No,
What
I
was
mean,
it like?
yeah, it was a heck of a play. I mean, this should go in the net 10 out of 10 times. That's one of those plays that it's just such a good play or good pass. But yeah, I mean, it was an incredible feeling, and I think it was 8th game, and I mean, I had a bunch of looks to get my first, and to get this first one was incredible. And I think you kind of see in the celebration here that it's kind of an exhale, like finally something went in the net.
Yeah.
I
found the
exhaled
open.
for you.
Low block.
Yeah.
You were right.
Yeah, you catch him sliding across. The D-man made an incredible play at the line there. He faked to the middle. The guy bit, and he jumped back down the wall. And you just come out of the corner, it looked like.
Well, yeah,
And
you just found.
quick tap of the stick, the old novice tap, and
Yeah.
right on the tape.
Yeah,
You just found the open.
give it to me, somebody.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Where were you? Oh, you're in
I was in the
corner.
corner there. Yeah, kind of found my way through the front of the net, and
You just found the open ice.
yeah, I mean it's a tough play for a defender there because there's a lot of switches and whatnot, and just kind of found an open pocket.
Who
And
passed it?
Eric Gustafsson. Yeah,
Shout out to Eric.
yeah. You know what? That guy is he's going to be a heck of a player in that league.
Yeah.
I played with him a little bit in Rockford in the AHL, and he's got some high end skill.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he'll probably be running the power play in Chicago this year as the point man.
Wow.
How old is he?
Oh, he's 24, 25. He's not very old.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to be a star, in my opinion.
That's crazy. You guys will always have that connection for the rest of your lives. Whether he remembers it or not, but he'll always remember the guy that signed you or set you up for your first one. Unless you go, coast to coast, couple toe sucks, and go bunk. Right, then it's all on you. But
yeah. That's that didn't quite happen.
no,
there.
that doesn't happen as often.
No, I was kind of, for my first goal, I thought, look, I'm a guy that goes to the front of the net, like to be there. I thought for sure something was going to go off my shin pads, top shelf or something. And you know what? Would have taken it, probably would have cellied probably bigger.
Did you play in your celly?
No, that's complete reaction. I was going to try and play it cool, but
No, don't play. It's your first one.
wow. I mean, I try to act like you've done it before.
Yeah, I
you know
guess
what
so.
mean?
But even if you wanted to try,
yeah, there's no way I could have.
It's impossible to plan for
that
that.
one in.
yeah. That's where's the puck at right now?
Actually, it's in Chicago. They're putting a plaque together for me, which is quite nice. It's kind of one of those things that they do as an organization. So I'm looking forward to getting it. And my dad wants to hang it on his wall, but I might keep that one in my place.
I would say you would.
First class all the way. A plaque. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not. They gave me the puck. They're like, hey, you can see it, but we're gonna take it and make something out of it for you. So all right, yeah, go ahead.
It was in Boston too, right?
In Boston, afternoon game, like you said,
Nationally televised game.
Yeah. Pierre Maguire's between the benches there.
You ever meet Pierre?
I did. Yeah, I met him a couple times.
What's he like as a guy?
I like Pierre. He's a really, really nice guy. It's interesting because I always thought that over the last 5 years that he would get back into coaching. He used to be a head coach. I can't remember with
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
I think he won a cup.
Yeah, he won a cup as an assistant coach or something like that.
So I always thought he'd end up back in Pittsburgh because he always seems to be a big Sid fan and whatnot. But great hockey mind, that guy. Really
he really does. Yeah, a lot of people talk shit, I guess talk shit would be fair just because he's so passionate about what he does, right? But do you ever hear him yapping between the benches? Like if you're just sitting on the bench, do you hear the guys talking, or you just kind of? I know obviously you're in your own zone, but you lose it every now and then. That's just
I mean, I haven't heard them. I'm sure guys do. Like sometimes they look over the side and looking at the iPads there to look at the replays.
You guys got iPads on the bench.
Yeah. Well, and Pierre's got one there too. You know what I mean? So sometimes he's showing the boys and whatever.
Is he?
Showing the big dogs. But yeah, no. I mean, it's I always think when I see him specifically, he always knows exactly where somebody's played junior or college. You know what I mean?
He knows what the guy had for dinner the night before, man. He knows everything.
Absolutely,
I think he does a great job. Some guys, some people it rubs the wrong way, but he's brilliant.
It's kind of like what we want to do. Like as much as we talk about the on ice stuff and stuff like that, it's more about behind the scenes things, and that's what Pierre. He kind of gives you an inside look at those things. Like, it sounds funny. Oh, he played for the Calgary Hitmen, but he knows those things because he cares and he wants people to hear the other side of the game, right? Like it's more than just a game, obviously. Everybody knows that.
It's a big family.
And he wants to grow the game as much as anybody else. Yeah. I think, telling somebody where he's from, where, what he did, when he's younger, why not? Yeah. Why not? Showcase it.
Which brings me to the next point. You grew up playing in Dartmouth.
Yeah.
They say you're the first person from the Whalers organization to suit up in the NHL.
Yeah, boy.
That's a pretty cool thing because I got a few buddies. I played in Dartmouth myself, and it actually came up in topic, oddly enough, not too long ago. Boys were sitting around having a few beer, and we were trying to pinpoint guys that, that are in the show from where around here, and we were thinking Dartmouth, nothing, but it just so happened that, you had signed, and so that must be pretty cool, man, because, I mean, right now it's Cole Harbour that's dominating from the Maritimes and I guess Hammond's Plains, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's quite cool. I'm honored to be the first Whaler to suit up in an NHL game, and it's not something that I think when I was younger I was like, this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? But it's a cool thing to be associated with, and I think actually the Whalers had their first NHL draft pick a couple weeks ago. Luke Henman, out of Carolina. So
there you go. You paved the way, right?
There you go. Another Dartmouth boy, and
great to see. Yeah,
he's a really good kid, and get to train with him a little bit when he's around. Saw him today, so happy for him for that too, and go Whalers, I guess.
There you go.
I would say that you're, that's just how it goes. Like you look at, obviously Nate from Cole Harbour goes there. All of a sudden everybody's, kids' numbers are growing and stuff like that. I really think truly that, by you being in the NHL, it probably will help jumpstart the organization a little bit. Kids start to believe a little more. Okay, now it's possible. Just the belief alone is enough to send you where you pretty much want to go. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, belief's a big thing. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what you do. It's, if you don't believe in it, then you're not gonna succeed. And, if I can bring a little bit of belief to the organization, then I'm happy to, and and go from there.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
So this summer, any plans? Going anywhere? Travel? Italy? Portugal?
Well, I'm gonna say I did not do my big Europe trip like Liam.
No.
My God, that guy doesn't mind.
That guy balled out.
Yeah, he doesn't mind indulging.
No.
But no. I mean, one of these years, I'd love to do that. It's it's cool for him to be able to do that. He's got his girlfriend over there too, which probably makes it a little bit easier. But for me, it's funny. A little bit of a shorter off season, so I didn't get to go down south. Something that I want to do, but took a trip to the U.S. Open in New York for the golf tournament there. I wanted to see Tiger. He's one of my idols.
You a golfer?
A golfer, yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, play quite a bit, and as much as I can. And but yeah, took a trip there. Me and my buddy, we went there to New York, did that. It was good. It was a lot of fun. Too bad some of the big boys weren't around for the weekend.
Yeah.
It was good. And as for the rest of the summer, just chilling, maybe a little bit of Cavendish this weekend.
Nice.
Was that this weekend?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge Cavendish fan. Like, I love country music, but it's you got to live a little bit and
camaraderie there too. The amount of hockey players that you play with, I'm telling you right now, it's a reunion. Like, I've gone a few years, and I know you probably already gone too, but you everywhere you go, someone you played with, you played against, or that hated you, or that's following you now. Like, that's my favorite part about doing those type of things, and I think it's just a good way to kind of you see the guys you play with, but you don't talk about hockey.
No,
you know what I mean? You get away from it just a bit and kind of digress away from hockey a little bit, and I think that's pretty refreshing for a guy like you who's constantly playing hockey, and you have to. So
absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Cavendish is one of those things. It's it's fun. Yeah. You have to be as responsible as possible about it, with what you put in your body and whatnot. But because it is training. It is summer training, but
and you're representing a team, right?
But you gotta have fun.
Yeah,
there's a fine line, and as long as you don't cross it, absolutely. Because once you get back to Chicago in September, it's business.
A grind.
Yeah.
A grind.
Yeah.
So when is camp for Chicago? September, or is it August? Do you go down in August probably?
Yeah, so this year I don't have to go to rookie camp, which is nice. And I mean, that's huge. It's huge. It gives me another 2 weeks of kind of training. So September 12th, I think camp opens up, and I'm going to spend probably a week in Montreal later on in the summer just to train and skate. And
who are you skating with?
My actually agent has a camp there. Okay. Octagon Hockey. So Jonathan Huberto, Letang, nice. Fleury, there's
all the boys.
Pacioretty will be there. There's a bunch of names. Great guys that you just kind of go out, skate, train with for a week, and
get back up to speed.
Yeah, and then I'll come home for a little while, probably for a week and a half, and then after Labor Day, it's time to drive back. And
you drive down, do you?
Yeah,
to Chicago.
25 hours. Yeah.
25 hours.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I'm not mistaken. That's over a day.
Yeah. Good math.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, it's a ways, but to ship my car over the border, it's just you can't put anything in it too if you're going to ship it over the border, because then they search it. Not that you have anything to hide, but it's fines on fines. Yeah. So. It is what it is, but
you drive down by yourself? You go with someone?
Yeah, probably drive down by myself. My mom helped me pack up, kind of thing, and drive home. We made it kind of like a son mother kind of trip on the way home, but
hey, she earned that.
I'm sure the music is good in that car. Yeah, she earned that. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So on the way back, it'll just be me, and probably pick up one of my buddies in Toronto on our way, and we'll probably just drive together, kind of thing.
It's part of the grind, man. It's part of what makes what you're doing awesome,
Yeah.
Even just I love road trips. I know you love road trips. It's part of the game. Yeah. Everybody looks forward to just hitting the road. Even now, if I'm going to a beach or on a hike or something like that, the road trip part for me is awesome. You sit there with your girlfriend or whoever, and you talk, and you know what I mean, you get to know each other a little bit better, and that goes back to what you said, team unity.
Absolutely.
Quick favorite Gatorade flavor. NHL, you guys got free Gatorade. What's your favorite color?
Oh boy, I like yellow.
There we go.
There we
go.
Yeah,
big yellow guy.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. No,
I thought Chicago would have had red.
I like white.
White
doesn't count. That's like an alternative color.
It's not bad. They're actually coming out with there was a prototype I guess we had in our locker room this year. I don't know what it's called.
Prototype.
I wish I could tell you, but it was great.
Source.
It was like a light yellow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Light yellow.
That may have been a piss jug.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful.
Do you guys have a fridge in the room just full of anything you want? Coconut water, Fiji, Gatorade,
Everything, yeah.
Everything.
Red Bulls, whatever you need.
That's
Coke.
all I want in life.
Yeah.
It's just a fridge full of everything I want.
Do you prefer water or Gatorade?
Or both.
Bobby Boucher.
I'm a both. Yeah.
You mix them?
You 50-50?
Oh no! Can't mix them because it just doesn't takes the taste away. I'd do like two different bottles, 2 sips out of both kind of thing.
You a coconut water guy?
No
What are the benefits
coconut
of
water.
coconut water?
No idea. Don't care.
People love it.
Yeah, people love it. There's benefits. I should probably look into those.
Yeah.
But I don't know them either.
I was watching a behind-the-scenes Chicago Blackhawks road trip like 2 years ago, and as soon as the guys came out of the dressing room, he was a short guy, bald. I think he was the trainer.
Paul.
What's his name?
Paul Goodman.
Paul Goodman.
Yeah, he's still there.
Is he?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he just waited there, and as soon as guys came in, he handed them a pink drink, or I think it was pink.
Yeah.
Something in a water bottle. What's in that drink? What's in that bottle?
Yeah, so it could be a couple different things. One's Cadiolite. It's just like a kind of an energy drink that has no
hydration
caffeine
kind of
in it.
thing?
Yeah, with salts and whatnot. And then another thing could have been Ribozip, and that's a little bit of caffeine in it. If you need a little extra, that's something that you take.
Yeah.
I normally take that. Not that I necessarily need it, but just to have it.
Yeah.
And you just kind of switch between water, Gatorade, and whatever else.
Are you a superstitious guy?
Oh boy,
Like left side of the gear first or anything like that?
so superstitious.
Nice, man. Me too. I
Give
love
us
it.
Give us a couple.
Well, left side of the gear always goes on
Interesting.
first. Yeah.
And if you don't do it, do you go back and start over?
Well,
You always notice.
I always will go back. Another thing is, I don't know if this is quite a superstition, but if I don't have baby powder on like the knob of my stick, it drives me insane.
That is 100% superstition, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't go in between a period without taping a stick too.
Ooh. Yeah. That start in junior?
Started in junior, and I'll do the knob and the blade as well. Like I don't mess around.
What color tape on the knob?
Always white.
Do you have do you do the threads in them?
Yeah, little threads. But no grip or whatever.
You don't do the Phil Kessel candy cane?
No.
Thank God.
No. You know what? I tried it.
I don't like
in
it.
summer hockey.
What color? What color tape on the stick?
The blade.
Black.
Black. Do you tape it around the toe, or do you stop at before it curves over?
It's funny. Fiddled around with it a little bit.
Interesting.
Used to. Well, I always for a game I'll go around. Do the whole thing and then have to cut it around the toe. But sometimes guys actually like having a little bit at the toe with no tape.
That's what I do.
Because they like to, some guys feel like they can see the bottom of the blade, so they know where the puck is better.
Really?
Not sure how it makes sense, and I've never seen it, but that's what a lot of guys do it. I guess Austin Matthews does that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's just like a whole nother level of hockey I don't even know about, because I don't even think about that when I played.
Oh, it gets technical. Some guys get really technical.
If you're around the rink, you get all the sticks you want every single day, anything you want. I bet you fidget with everything.
I can tell you one thing: you don't fuck with a player's routine, though.
No, absolutely not.
That's
You do
dangerous.
not.
It's dangerous.
And that's what I think makes trainers so good. Like, most people that we've had on that play junior or whatever have always given a shout out to their trainer, because, they're basically not babysitting. Maybe in a sense, but looking after all of your things. And one of the people I actually reached out to him not too long, DK from the Sea Dogs.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've heard, man, so many good things. Almost like he's the best one in the business. And I don't know. I just like to give him a little shout out here. What separates him from everybody else? I know you had him he's been there since pretty much they came into the league.
Yeah, you know what, DK, first of all, an incredible story that, he continues to do with Team DK, and the monkey Band-Aid, I don't know if you guys know about that.
What's that?
It's, long story short, so his, what was it, not his niece, what's the opposite of niece?
Nephew.
Yeah, see, that was bad right there. But anyways, his nephew gave him, when he got sick in the hospital, he was bleeding, whatever, gave him a monkey Band-Aid tattoo.
Okay.
or a monkey band-aid that he put on his wrist.
Yeah.
And he instantly felt better, stopped bleeding. That night, went to bed, couldn't find the band-aid. It fell off and he was bleeding again.
No.
They found it, taped it back on him, went
Incredible.
back, taped it back on him. He went back to sleep, fine again.
Are you serious? Did you know about this?
I did, yeah. So now he does like he has like he gives like monkeys, and there's like monkey T-shirts. It's just part of like I don't want to say campaign because that makes him seem like he's trying to go for himself, but it's for like awareness and stuff like that for his sickness and
That's incredible.
Yeah, man,
and
it's
like
wicked.
you can get T-shirts. I think it's teamdk.ca. Not that I'm selling it, but it's one of those things that's really, really cool, and
It's a good cause.
Awesome.
yeah, it's a great cause. All the money goes back to St. John Hospital there, the oncology department.
Cool.
So
He's a legend, man. Everybody knows him.
yeah, but you know what? Back to the hockey part. He's always one of those guys that knew when to say something and when not to. I had a unique relationship with him where I go in there after practice, hang out for 30 40 minutes just talking about our team, what we need to do different. He's been around the block for so long that the guy loves to win, first of all, and knows
he's
what
a
it
proven
takes.
winner.
Yeah.
A couple Mem Cups under his belt.
Yeah.
So he probably knows the game pretty well just from being around all the guys, watching all the games, the practices, all that shit. Whether you think you're picking up on it or not, he's probably got one of the greatest hockey brains around, man.
Yeah, he's seen so much hockey, and it's not necessarily, I'm sure he knows the game very, very well, and I know he does, but it's, it's the room. He has a good feel for, who's together on the team, who's not, what's going on. It's always a good conversation to have with him because he has a different point of view, and sometimes it's things that you didn't realize. And he's helped me a lot through a lot of different things in my 5 years in St. John.
No doubt. Yeah, I was gonna say 5 years in St. John. It's funny you said that you had a little relationship with him for 30 or 40 minutes. I just thought about it now, and I've always been good friends with the trainer, man. Like Timmy Walsh and Benny in Bridgewater. I guess that's really the only two places I played, and like Derek and the boys in East Hants Junior B. But it's just like, I don't know, man. They're wicked people. The teams need them to run. It's simple as that.
Yeah, it's a well-oiled machine, and they do what they can, and they do it to the best abilities, and they do a great job.
Beauty.
Perfect.
All right, so we should wrap it up here. We're almost on an hour. You have anything else you want to say?
No, sir.
Highmore, you want to give a shout out to anyone? Hi to Mom.
Yeah, well, boys, thanks for having me. It's one of those things that I enjoy doing when I get home to kind of hang out with new people and meet new people. So thanks for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Beauty, man.
Pleasure to have you, man. Big time.
Welcome back anytime. If we're ever in Chicago next year, we'll give you a shout.
Love it.
Or not next year, this year, I guess.
We'll go get some pie.
Get some pie. No,
Yeah,
I don't
we'll
want
try
that.
a good pie.
You didn't sell me on the pie. I don't want the pie. Dudes, you did the intro, so you might as well do the outro. You want to do it?
No.
You want me to do it? All right.
You go ahead.
Everyone listening,
Sure,
once again, I appreciate the support. The High Button community is growing day by day, and myself and everyone else included with the High Button, we do truly appreciate that. If you could do us a favor and go to all of our social media outlets, Instagram, SoundCloud, iTunes, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. I think that's all of it. All that good stuff. We're there. We appreciate you. We love you. More good content to come. And we are out.
Peace.